Mondays. I hate mornings in general. Like, now I really have a thing against Monday mornings. So it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. We take off. Oh, and by the way, it's 155 degrees.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. All right, so we have an oak gauge, right? It's an outside air temperature gauge in the cockpit. And it's pegged out at 58 degrees Celsius. I mean, just like it just gave up. And so it was hot. So we take off from 6th Brigade, and we're flying as a section, right? So 2 helicopters, and we're Dash 2. We're the second helicopter. And I just happened to look out the window to see what Dash 1 was doing, right? See where they're at, because that's what a crew chief does, is, you know, the airfield surveillance and all that stuff. And as I'm looking outside, I hear a pop, and I just kind of like, that was weird. And then my gunner, Matt, starts yelling, "We're on fire, we're on fire." And just as I'm turning my head to see what the hell he's talking about, this wave of flames comes and, you know, hits me in the face. And then, so it turned out our number 2 engine decided to explode. And when it exploded, it took out the number 1 engine, and helicopter really doesn't do good flying without any engines. So
this had nothing to do with like taking a round or anything.
No,
like that?
It was a manufacturer's defect that they didn't want to. The Marine Corps didn't want to deal with because it was going to be expensive, because they would have to redesign the engine.
Sounds like a little movie we watched the other day.
So, what movie was that?
Pentagon Wars.
Yeah.
Oh,
about the tanks that have fucking malfunctions and shit, and they just go through hoops to hide it, and they've been spending billions of dollars on it.
My son Robert told me about that movie.
I didn't mean to take away from your story, but it sounds exactly when you say malfunction or manufacturer's malfunction.
Right, you're 100% correct. So, you know, if it's going to cost money, they don't want to deal with it, right? Because at the time,
but the thing is it did cost money to get to that point to the beginning.
Well, it didn't cost them more, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, if it was only one here, one there, you know, we're nobodies. You know, we're $200,000. What's $200,000 in a budget that's trillions of dollars? You know what I mean?
Funeral service.
Well, they don't care about that.
No, I know. It's paid for by the tax bill.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's all good.
No, you're right. So my helicopter actually went inverted, right? And so anybody knows anything about helicopters also tell you that helicopters don't do well when they go upside down, right? So it wasn't fully upside down. So, like, if this is my helicopter, it went like this, and then we started spinning out of the sky like this. And so I held on to the crew door. I wasn't scared. I was bummed. I said, well, this is it. This is the day I die. And I promise you, all I said was, God, I just want to see my kids again, right? That's all I said. The helicopter goes from doing this to it levels out and just starts doing auto rotation to the ground. Right, and if you read the mishap report, the pilot said they couldn't see their hands in front of their face, right, because it all smoke and everything. So who was flying that helicopter? Right, God.
Yeah.
And so we land on ground, badass. I survived this crash, right, and I go to climb out.
Injuries?
Yeah, I was burned. I had 30-degree burn on my arms, my leg, right side of my body. Second-degree burns on my face and neck,
but no broken bones.
No broken bones, right? Because it's sand, so we plopped into the sand, and actually, thank God for the sand, because it just kind of kept everything there, you know.
What about everybody else on the flight?
So the co-pilot got burned, I think on his neck, and then the pilot didn't get anything.
Jesus.
Unfortunately, when we were so badly damaged when we landed, the belly broke. It basically broke, and a blade came through and killed Matt, my gunner. But I didn't know that till later.
You were just getting the fuck out of the wreckage.
Well, yeah. So we wear a gunner's belt, right? We were.
Is that what you were? What exactly was your role on
mechanic? Right.
Well, you were the mechanic?
Well, I'm a mechanic and crew chief. So so the crew chief. So the crew chief in the Marine Corps, because we're so short staffed, we're a mechanic, we're a load master, we're a gunner, we do everything. We're responsible for every aspect. All. Right. Yeah.
Multifaceted job. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and it keeps us busy, and the best thing about being a crew chief especially a 46 crew chief, because we are the best people on the planet, is it's not a job. It's a lifestyle, right? I mean, so you and Amy will tell you she's had to deal with it for so many years, but it's just awesome. It was one of the best jobs that I could ever have dreamt of. You know,
were you like a sergeant at this time, or
no? I was a corporal. I was only 4 years in, and you know, I only had like 800 flight hours. I mean, I was really, really inexperienced. And
what was Matt the gunner?
He was I think he was a sergeant.
He
was an airframer.
A year on you, I think.
Yeah, and actually that was his last deployment. He was getting out, and that was awful. He was going to get out, marry his fiance. He was going to go to Embry-Riddle to college, you know, be a pilot, and